What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are live from Impact Gaming Center in the fabulous Fairview Heights, Illinois. Coming to you with some standard action, store championship. This is round 4 of 5. We've got Paul on Domain and Andrew on Orzohov, mid-range bats, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we've got this round plus another round of Swiss, and then, of course, top 8. And the winner, of course, gets that absolutely gorgeous Urza's Saga Full Art Foil. It's going to be a good time, that's for sure. I have no idea what that card is. I've got some deck lists pulled up here, but yeah. Andrew already throwing me for a loop here. Ruin Lurker Bat and Essence Channeler. Ruin Lurker Bat. Okay, I found it. Flying Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, scry one. You descend if a permanent card was put into your graveyard from anywhere. And Essence Channeler is a 2-mana, 2/1. As long as you lost life this turn, Essence Channeler gains flying and vigilance. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And whenever it dies, put its counters on target creature you control. Pretty decent, pretty decent. Let's zoom out so you can see the full board. Alrighty, there we go. But yes, thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. If you're watching live on Twitch, we appreciate you. Again, as a reminder, if you are watching on Twitch, we are affiliates, so you can give us some of those Bezos bucks and support the content for free by becoming a Twitch Prime member. And as another reminder, if you have Twitch or Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription every single month. And there is the bat. Get Lost, Cornucopia. Holy smokes, his hand is pretty stacked. But he needs lands. Herd Migration, Atraxa, Binding, Angel of Wrath, and a Get Lost. Do you just take the removal spell and keep chugging? Gonna scry one here. And pass back to Paul. Cycle herd migration. Goes to 21. Gonna get a land. It will be of the plains variety. And Paul going to pass back. We've seen Paul in the feature match area already today. That's what happens when you keep winning, folks. You get back into the feature match area. Leyline binding. Get lost. Paul gonna get some maps. Back to Paul. Cavern name Angel. Archangel kicked. Gonna get back the cornucopia. Dark Star Augur. Kicked. So he offspringed it. So he's got 2 Dark Confidants, essentially. That's potentially dangerous. Paul just going to take 6. Thundering Falls, going to surveil. Paul says, that's interesting. Wish I'd have got to see it, Paul. Astral Cornucopia. Is that the name of this card? It's some cornucopia. Ancient. So the interesting card was Atraxa Grand Unifier. Pretty good. Drawn 2 extra cards there. Fountain Port, going to be land for turn. Fountain Port, going to be land for turn. Zorline, Cosmos Caller. Whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. And whenever it enters or attacks, you may pay black, white, and 2 life. When you do, return target non-land permanent with mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Bitter Triumph on the Angel. Get Lost, gonna come down. And Paul says, I still die. Yeah, so there you have it. Andrew going to take down game 1. Andrew trying to play Dream Crusher here a little bit. And that will do it there for game number 1. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. We're in round 4 of 5, but then we've got 3 rounds of top 8 action. I just know players are going to want to play for this gorgeous Urza Saga that everybody has basically built standard decks for the purpose of winning today. So let's take a look at these potential sideboards. Again, I do not have deck lists, but like their exact deck list, but I do have Goldfish deck lists, so we can surmise maybe what they're bringing in. We got Shieldred. This is for Andrew. We got Shieldred, Loran, Liliana the Veil, Legions to Ashes, which is a 3-mana sorcery, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls, and all tokens that player controls with the same name. Pest Control Elspeth Smite, Duress, and Dreams of Steel and Oil. I'm an oil man. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it. Then choose an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. Exile the chosen cards. Alrighty then. Moving on over to domain side of things. Nissa, Jace, Biza, Tranquil Frillback, Tishani's Tidebinder, Temporary Lockdown, I know those are coming in. Negate, and a Cavern of Souls. I don't think Paul's playing a Cavern of Souls. Definitely the lockdowns, though. And Biza as well, potentially. Let's get back down there, though. Looks like Paul is going to take mulligan here. Alrighty, here we go. Paul going to lead us off with the Lush Portico. Got Surveil. Going to keep that on top. Pass back. Concealed. Courtyard. Pass back to Paul. Paul going to take a draw step. Plays an island and passes. Amalia. Both players sharing a laugh over Amalia. It just got banned in Pioneer, and unfortunately for Andrew, not trying to do any crazy shenanigans like it does in Pioneer, or it did in Pioneer. Molly going to get in there, drop Paul down to 21. After Zorline enters the battlefield, and again, Zorline is a 3/3 with flying and vigilance. Whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life, and then whenever it enters or attacks, you may pay black white and 2 life when you do, return a non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield with finality counter on it. One, 2 cards. Five damage to everything. Seems pretty good. Gonna wipe the board. All right. Case of the Uneaten Feast. You gotta solve it by gaining 5 life in 1 turn, and once it's solved, sacrifice this case creature cards in your graveyard. Gain. You may cast this card from your graveyard until the end of the turn. Paul just plays land and pass it back. Lauren in the further path for Andrew as well. Lauren gonna bash in for 2, drop Paul to 21. Plays Fountain Port, and Paul passes back. It looks like he drew a Leyline Binding. In-step Fish. So yeah, the Fish, Fountain Port loses 1 life, but the case gains 1 life, so it is a wash. It's a wash, baby. Alrighty. 3. Lightning Helix, Lauren. Deep Cavern Bat. Take a look. Sunfall, Get Lost, Nissa, Tashini's Tidebinder, and Leyline Binding. That's a tough choice. I got to be honest. I have no idea what I'd pick here. Paul's hand's great. He needs lands, so gonna take the Get Lost here. This seems good. Paul playing up, heads up, open-handed. What a guy. Mirrex. Sunfall. Yeah, that'll do. So incubate, I believe 2. Get Lost goes to hand. Back to Andrew. Andrew makes a fish at the end of the turn and untaps. Fish gonna fish ya. Fable Passage. Gonna crack it. Gonna snag a planes. We're gonna cast that Animus, Paul. And here comes Nissa, Ascended Animist. And this is... Create an XX green Phyrexian horror creature token where X is Nissa's loyalty. The Get Lost going to take down Nissa. And Paul going to get some maps. Back to Andrew's turn. Case going to come down for Andrew. Paul going to map it up here on his turn. That's land. That'll go to hand. 6U. Down to 15 goes Andrew. All right. Restless Boy going to get in there. Trigger on the stack. Tashini's Tidebinder going to stifle that trigger. Yeah, and Andrew's going to call it. They're going to go to the next game. And Paul able to tie things up. So there you have it. We're heading to game 3 here in round 4 of 5. And then we got top 8, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I'm Alex. We are here at Impact Gaming Center in the fabulous Fairview Heights. Come on up, 49 Ludwig Drive. I'd love to see you. Check this out. Look at how many. This is just like half of our gaming area. Got card fight players right there behind Andrew. And then further back towards the TCG area, we've got, of course, Magic the Gathering. We've got some folks playing Warhammer right there. And, of course, we have our One Piece tournament. And, of course, this tournament that you're watching. Standard Store Championships. But yeah, hit up impactgamingcenter.gg for all your Magic the Gathering and tabletop gaming needs. Game 3 going into game 3 here. Andrew's going to be on the play. Paul going to try and stave off Andrew's aggression long enough to start landing some Atraxas. Paul saying this is his first game 3 of the day. Good luck to both players. And Orzhov bats will be on the play. Both players going to mulligan. One land Cavernous Souls, says Paul. Do both players have keepable hand? Looks like Paul is keeping. Andrew's still deciding. Restless Fortress pass to Paul. Hedge Maze, Surveil. Deep Cavern back, gonna enter. Double Herd Migration, Angel. Taking the Angel. Seems decent. Courtyard, attack with the bat. Gonna migrate. Meticulous Archive here for Paul. Gonna surveil. Fountain Port. Zora Lane. All right, fetch land here for Paul. And pass back to Andrew. Down to 17, up to 26. And back to Paul. Into the turn. Cycle herd migration. Back up to 20, man. As much as Andrew, is developing his board, doing the thing, not making much progress on Paul's life total here. Sunfall going to make a 2/2 incubate, a 2 incubate token. Make a fish. Down to 25 goes Andrew. Back to his turn. Andrew plays the Plains. Here is a case of the Uneaten Feast. Yeah, the longer this game goes, the more I like. I think it favors Paul. Down to 19, though, goes Paul. Gonna sack the fish to draw a card. Invasion. Gonna snag Atraxa. Archangel 3 lands. There's a Cornucopia. Ancient Cornucopia, not Astral Cornucopia. Archangel. Up to 23 goes Paul. Go for the throat on the Archangel. Gonna take it down. Cornucopia. Turn the token into creature token. Down to 19. 18, make a fish token. Stays at 19. Thanks to the case. Duress. There goes Sunfall. Chandler, ETB trigger, go to 20. Puts a counter on it. Fish gonna get in there, get in the red zone, brother. Fable Passage is gonna get sacrificed. Paul just said she's coming back. Andrew goes, yeah, I'm aware. Cavern, naming angel. And here is Atraxa. Up to 27 goes Paul. Wow, these are all hits too. Holy smokes. Sorcery, artifact, enchantment, instant, creature, land. What a trip. Atraxa is so good. I don't think Andrew can beat that. Like, a resolved Atraxa is pretty darn good. Especially because Paul's at 27. This just hurts watching. Andrew, I'm so sorry you had to deal with this. Combat tricks are hard to play around, Paul. Surveil. And I think Andrew's hellbent. Paul has a full grip thanks to that Atraxa resolving. Invasion, gonna get attacked here. Paul says, what does Fountain do? Andrew sacks the one that Andrew sacks the one that Paul blocked to draw a card. Deep Cavern Bat. Well, there you go. What you pick, Andrew? You got all the cards to pick. 7 in the air. Pretty good. 14 to 34. The channeler's going to get ley line binding, which means the +1/+1 counters aren't going to be able to get moved. A second cornucopia. And back to Andrew. Andrew's shaking his head in disgust. Essence Channeler again. All right. Paul going to 41 after removing the bat. 7 in the air. Up to 48 goes Paul. Casting herd migration. Gain 2 to 50. 5 3/3s. Yeah, I mean this one, folks. That's what we call over. There's the handshake. That was brutal, Andrew. I'm sorry. We had to subject you to that. Paul going to improve to 4-0. Probably be able to draw into top 8 next round. Thank you all so much. We've got one more round of Swiss, and then we've got top 8 coverage here at the Standard Store Championships live from Impact Gaming Center. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon, set it to all so you don't miss content like this. Thank you all so much. If you're watching live, we appreciate the heck out of you. And we'll see you in the next round, or if you're watching on YouTube, we'll see you in the next video. Hey, catch you all on the flippy flop. Adios.